Welcome to the show today. Captain Jeff and myself, we're going to go out probably, I don't know, within 15 miles of the beach. Do some live baiting, maybe catch some kings, big Spanish, whatever a bite. We're going to do some live bait. We just put about 10 dozen small peanut pogies in the live well. We use them for some live bait chum. Start out maybe right off the beach and try to catch some big Spanish. Then we're going to head on offshore about 12 miles and jig up some baits. Use some jigged up baits on the bottom, top. Try to get some nice kings.
We're actually set up for king fishing already this morning, but before we headed offshore, rather than run too far and find out we bypass fish, we're checking inshore and along the beach here on some live bottom to see if these big Spanish are here.
Got one on, got a big one on.
That's right there. That's probably a king. We usually have, about 200 yards, 150 to 250 yards of braided line, like 14-pound and 20-pound test braided line on top of monofilament backhand. We've caught them 35, 40 pounders. Yeah, very rarely they run off more than a couple hundred yards. So.
That's two number 2 gold hooks right there. The light one. But that is key. The Spanish market, that gold hook. If you're going to catch big Spanish on kings, I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't really matter.
Those Spanish gold hooks are the way to get it.
Sometimes the Spanish are real finicky, and we might have to drop down to just one hook or close the spread on the hook. They're on fire here. We didn't even put 3 lines out, had 3 strikes in 5 minutes. We're probably not going to go with more than 2 rods. The bite stays like this. We just had a couple of fish down below the boat right here, cut across the bait might just threw out. Saw some silver flashes down there. I didn't get a visual. You couldn't tell if it was Spanish or king. A lot of times that stinger hook will get, we'll catch one hook in the mouth. Just like using the topwater bait redfish and the second hook, a lot of times we'll catch it to the side of the head. We fight a real hard drag on a real tight drag. We'll pull a lot of hooks. But that braid also helps us. Your kings can't, tail whip the line, can't cut the line with their tail, so we could go down to like a little 4-inch leader. We've gone down to sometimes 2-inch leaders in front of our hooks when the fish get real finicky, and that braid allows us to go down to a real short leader. You actually can put to the top of your head. There it is right there. A little better one. Better. About a 7-pounder. Not a bad one at all. See where he's hooked at. Yeah, he had one in the eye, then one in the mouth, and one in the eye was in the round. You gotta be real careful, folks, and I know a lot of you kingfish and stuff all the time, some of you may not. You gotta be real careful with the hooks. Again, we got these treble hooks on here, so try to get that fish secured and get a hook out. I like to make sure my line's tight, out of the way. I know where it's at before I start messing with my other hooks.
This might be a Spanish here, folks. See that head shaking? Really shaking his head.
Spanish right
here, folks. Right here.
Get the bit there.
These 3 to 4 pound Spanish right there.
That's a solid, 4-pound Spanish right there.
You can see here, this one has the brown spots. This one also has brown spots. There's definitely a big difference, but if you don't have the 2 right beside each other, it's kind of hard to tell by spots. And you have the lyre line. The lyre line on a Spanish is, it won't dip real hard. It kind of just goes down. king will come down here to the dorsal fin, dip down. But the true way and the best way is that dorsal fin. You can clearly see the difference. Spanish marker will always be just as blackest, jet black, just like coal. King marker is always going to be clear, light blue.
The kings, if you have them side by side, you can also tell their eyes too. King's got a larger pupil than a Spanish, but if you're just looking at a solo fish, you might not be able to tell that.
Do you want to tell the difference between a king and a Spanish? Right there's your way.
That black fin.
That's black. It's always going to be black on a Spanish.
Hold him right there. I'm going to see if I can get the hook without him getting my finger. Nice. That's about a 4 pound, good 4 pound Spanish. Not bad. We're going to show you our rigs we're using real quick. They're typical, what we call king rigs. We modify a few things, the length of the leader and then the color of the hooks. We like to, like Mike said earlier, we like to use a gold hook. Anywhere from number 4 to number 6, down to number 2s as well. Right now we're using the bigger ones, number 2s, because there's a lot of kings in here. So, but this one right here is just single strand wire, and I'm using like a 40-pound wire today. We've had this time of year some big kings show up in here. Even though we're a mile off the beach, you might hook into a 40-50-pound king, and if it's a real light leader, he'll bite right through it. And all we're doing, again, since we've got a braided line, they can't tail cut this line, and they don't bite through it too well either. So I'm shortening my leader up. I've got about maybe 8 inches of leader material, and we're just doing a haywire twist to connect everything. And I've just put my swivel on there. I've got about 8 inches or so of leader material, and here's my stinger hook. And we've got small pogies right now. We're going to jig some better baits up here shortly. We're using real small pogies, so we're not really putting that stinger hook into the that second hook into the bait. But we're going to go ahead and leave it long as if we had a larger bait on there. It's just going to swing behind the pogie. And I'm going to again just put another haywire twist, about 3 wraps with the wire twisted around over each other, and then turn it at a 90-degree angle. Take your tag in and wrap around the main line, and here we go right there. So it looks like I got to trim off the little leads there, but that's what we're using. That's what I'm using. Mike likes 7-strand a little better. It's a little more flexible, the 7-strand, and that's really good as well. The larger kings and stuff sometimes will bite through the 7-strand, but most of what we're catching here are like 10-pounders, so it shouldn't be a problem today. But then I think he stepped up to what, 40-pound you said, 7-strand?
This is 40-pound 7-strand. The reason why I use it on the charters is just you can tie it so quick. If we were fishing a tournament, there's no doubt. I mean, I use nothing but solid wire.
That's the smaller of the Spanish that we catch. They're from about 2 pounds on for 8 pounds.
As you can see, you know, just because we get a fish hit don't mean we're going to grab our other lines and reel them in. We keep them right out there. You can do a turn whichever way he's running. Most of the time you can clear all the lines, you never have a tangle. I mean, this fish started out running to the port there and we just turned her to the left. We get several doubles and triple hookups.
That's true, even if it was a tournament. You might clear a couple, like your downrigger, one of your downriggers, but you want to leave one down and still leave one out. It feels like as I was fighting that fish, one of the hooks shook off his mouth or something. He felt like he hooked himself in the head again, on the side of his head. He's digging real deep now. When he was first hooked up, he was staying on top of the water. We were leading him around by his nose. That's an undersized king right there. You want to be careful not to gaff him. You can probably zoom in right there. Look at him. He's got that big eye. He does not have that front dorsal fin is not dark black. The one very forward dorsal fin. That's a small king right there. So we want to gaff him. You can make identification before you stick him with a gaff. You save a fish. I mean, you also have to be careful now too. I can bring him in the boat if I need to release